All right, hello once again. This is Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College, and as part of the Rankin Technical College AWD 1000 Web Development Fundamentals class, I have been going through and creating a bunch of video presentations based off of the Mozilla Developer Network Learn Web Development series. I'm in the JavaScript portion, and we're in JavaScript First Steps, and it's time for basic math. This section will show how we can use operators and other features to work with numbers. So, remember, JavaScript only has one data type for numbers. So whether it's integers, which are whole numbers, floating points, which are numbers that can have a decimal, or doubles, which are, again, decimals but can have greater precision, they're all of type number. You can also work with different number bases. Binary is the thing that the computer understands, and that's zeros and ones. All right. And also, you've got things like octal, which is base 8, or hexadecimal, which is base 16. We're going to just stick through decimal numbers in this course, which is a good thing. So here's some examples. That's creating a number that's got an int. That's a number that probably is a float. There are different methods that you can use with numbers. So it says the number object has a number of useful methods that you can use to help manipulate numbers. So notice we've got one here that says toFixed. What the heck does that do? Well, it'll take this value that's right here and it'll put it to 2 decimal places, and I believe it will also round. So I believe if you tried that one, it would show 1.7. So it does say here to type all this into the console, and just so you know, we can do that. So we can get back in here, and I can bring up, I guess I'd have to bring it up from here, but I can bring up that program again. All right, and I can right mouse click, go into the inspector, go to the console, and just start typing stuff in. So notice, as I mentioned to you, that's 1.77. Converting to number data types. Well, notice what this does, because it's a little bit confusing. All right, if we say this, let number equal 74, that means that right there, that's a string. That's the string 74, not the number 74, the string 74. So if I do that and I try to add 3 to it, it's not adding, it's appending. So it now becomes the string 743. All right. It says to fix it, you can do this, which says first convert that 74 or that 74 from a string to a number and then add 3 to it. That'll work and give you 77. All right, here's your major arithmetic operator. So let's talk about plus, minus, multiply, divide. Hopefully those all make sense. We learned those back in grade school. The fifth one down, the percent sign, is typically referred to as modulo. It's the remainder operator. So I don't know about you, but back in the day when I had to learn math, and I learned, for example, 17 divided by, not divided, divided by 3, I was told it was something like equals 5R2. So it's 5 with a remainder of 2. All right. Well, the modulo operator, so if we use that, which is like this, that just gives us the remainder part. So that's going to equal 2. So it divides a number by a number and it gives you the remainder. exponent is actually fairly new. Notice it was introduced 5 years ago in ECMA. ECMA is the European Computer Manufacturing Associations, which kind of is the governing body for all things JavaScript. But it's got this. Now, it used to be that if I wanted to, let's say I wanted to take the number 10 and put it to the 6th power. Now I can say, let 1 million equal 10 times 6. So that's 10 times 10, which is 100 times 10, which is 1,000 times 10, which is 10,000 times 10, which is 100,000 times 10, which is a million. But today, that's the way it's done. In the past, you would have had to have said, let 1 million, and this still works, equals math.pow 10, 6. So that would say take 10 and raise it to the 6th power. They both still work. This is a little less typing, but you'll still see this a lot. All right, especially in legacy code. All right, so they give you some examples. These are pretty simple examples. I'm not going to run through those. Operator precedence. Well, again, as we learned back in probably junior high, you do multiplication and division before you do addition and subtraction. And it has to do with the orders of operator precedence. If you want to break those rules of precedence, so in other words, what that's saying is if I do this, let x equal 54 divided by 34 plus 8 minus 6 times 12. The first operation that's going to take place in here is this. So it's going to do 54 divided by 34, which will give you 1 point something. The second operation that will take place is this. Because again, you do multiplication and division before you do addition and subtraction. So again, I would do this first, 54 divided by 34. I would do this second. Then I would come back and take that result and add 8 to it. Then I would take that result and subtract that 72 from it. If I want to change that, so let's say that what I want to do here is the 8 minus 6 first, then I would have to take that and put it in parentheses. Now it'll do this 8 minus 6 first. So it will come in and do that, which will give us 2. And it will take and do that math, which will give us 1 point something. Then it'll take the 2 times 12, which will give us 24. So it'll be 1.4, 1 point something, and then it'll add 24 to it. All right. There's an increment and a decrement. Now, many people find this confusing. So again, let's look at an example. First of all, just so you know, I'm going to say here, let x equal 3. And I'm going to show you 4 different ways that I can add 1 to it. So let's assume this is later on in my code. I can say x equal x plus 1. That's probably the hardest way of doing it. I can say x plus equal 1, which is better. It's a shortcut. I can say plus plus x, which means add 1 to x. Or I can say x plus plus. All of these, any of these, will now make x4. So what's the difference between plus plus x and x plus plus? Well, let's do this. We'll set x equal to 3, and then let's say let y. All right, so let's forget about these right here, and let's do these. I want to say here, y equals plus plus x, or y equals x plus plus. Y will have a different value based on whether you do this one or you do this one. This is called the pre-increment operator. So it'll add 1 to x, making it 4, and then it'll assign that 4 to y. This is called the post-increment operator. So it'll take x, which is 3, and assign that to y. Then it will add 1 to x, meaning that x is now 4. Now, if you say, well, geez, that's really confusing, then I'd say for right now, don't use it. All right? Don't use it like this. Just use it on a line by itself, because these two lines mean exactly the same thing. Add 1 to x. All right? Assignment operators, I already mentioned 1 to you, but there's actually 5. I think the percent sign equal works also, as far as I know. But this, x plus equal 4, is a shortcut for x equal x plus 4. X minus equal is a shortcut for x equals x minus. X times equals is a shortcut for x equals x times. X divided by equals is a shortcut for x equal x divided by. And again, I believe that the modulo operator, the one that's the percent sign, you can use percent equal as well. I believe that one will work as well. All right, so there's an active learning exercise in here. Let's look at it. It says, in this exercise, you will manipulate some numbers and operators to change the size of a box. The box is drawn using an API called the Canvas API. For now, don't worry about how that works. Just concentrate on the math. So the rectangle by default is 50 by 50. All right, so let's grab this. And let's go back, and we're going to go to that earlier one that we did, which was guessing game bad. And I'm going to go back to this. And I'm going to go into the script right here. And I'm going to get rid of all this. Remember, we've got this check guess. So I'm going to get rid of everything that's in check guess. So this is all we have. And now I'm going to put in what they just showed us, this stuff. All right, so we're setting x. I don't do this. I always put them on 2 lines because it just makes more sense. All right, it says edit these 2 lines below here only. All right, and then we're going to draw a green thing. So we want this to be 10 by 10. All right, so it says edit this. So instead of 50, well, let's start it at 50, the way that it's shown there. And we'll do this. Well, I want to guess in game bad, but it's still showing that, and I'm not sure why. Did I not save? I did save. Oh, I still have all this stuff in there, and I don't need any of that anymore. So I'm going to leave my title out. I'm going to get rid of all of this stuff. Everything that's in here. And we're going to end our head tag. And I don't know why this has got an ending body tag. It should be a beginning body tag. So that looks okay. And let's put in our ending body tag here. Do it like that. All right, hopefully that fixed whatever problem we had. We'll find out right now. Showing us nothing. And if we go into our console, it's not showing us any errors. Oh, we're never calling check guess. All right, so let's say body on load equal check guess. See if that fixes it. Let's get rid of that. Refresh. Still isn't showing it to us. It says CTX is not defined. Not good. We'll figure it out just a second here. In fact, let's use their example. We got CTX. It's using the Canvas API, but let's come in here and instead of 50 by 50, let's make it real big. So let's make it first 500 by 50, and you can see the difference. Now it's wide. Let's cut that down a little bit. So let's cut that down to 350. It's taking up most of the screen now. If we make this 400, you can see how that's now making it bigger. So instead of, let's make it smaller. So let's make it 10 by 10. All right, and you can see what's happening when we do that, okay? All right, I'm not gonna, you could read through this and go through this yourselves, but they're just having you change it in a bunch of ways. All right, let's jump down here to comparison operators, and I think that'll be it. Yep, that's it for this lesson. We already talked about the equal, equal, equal. They call that strict equality and strict non-equality. I've always called them equality and identity. All right, because not only is it equal, but is it of the same type. Less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. You'll have to let me know if those don't make sense. 10 less than 6, that would be false. 10 greater than 20, that would be false. 3 less than or equal to 2, that would be true. 5 greater than or equal to 4, that would be true. All right. As it says, the strict versions using the triple equals results in less errors, so you should try using it all. Be using it all the time. All right. Okay, this, I don't know what this is doing. The machine is, okay, I'm not going to grab that one either. So we have now done, what is JavaScript? A first splash into JavaScript. What went wrong? Storing the information you need, basic math. All right, I'm going to jump into handling text, strings in JavaScript. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 more to go in this lesson. So I'll come back with handling text, strings in JavaScript in just a couple minutes.